I have no intention of taking care of Grandma. I don't even want to see her face. Why don't you do it? Lily, my sister-in-law, said with a malicious grin. Probably in her mind, if she could gain control of the house, she didn't care about Grandma at all. My brother smirked from the side, glancing at me and Grandma. I felt it might be difficult for Grandma to live peacefully in such an environment. I said confidently, "It's okay. Grandma, I'm here for you. My name is Amy. I've just turned 50 and currently enjoy a slow life with my husband. Our 2 children have grown up and are now walking their own paths. The days when they were little and I juggled work and family seem like distant, tender memories now. Now my work, my life with my husband, and the time I spend with my grandmother are what matter most. My husband and I work together at a well-known traditional restaurant. I operate as the owner, while my husband, Terry, is the reliable head chef supporting the establishment. Why am I in this role? Because I studied business in college and was fascinated by restaurant management. Initially I wanted to cook for our guests, but things didn't go as planned, and I gave up rather quickly. During college, I started a kitchen job at a luxury hotel near the university, but my cooking skills were not great. A senior co-worker told me, "You can't even peel vegetables properly," so I was reassigned to serve dishes. For someone as passionate about cooking as I was, that was a blow. But now it's just a funny memory we laugh about. Whenever I faced troubles, I'd always turn to my grandmother. She'd listen quietly until I finished, then look straight into my eyes and say, "Amy, I know your dreams and hopes. But life isn't always a straight path. There are detours and bends. Each of these experiences would help you grow. Go at your own pace and stay strong." Her words were a comforting balm. Thank you, Grandma. No matter how small the step, I'll keep moving forward. Thanks to her gentle encouragement, I kept my serving job during college. My grandmother was always so kind, offering her support. Having lost my parents early on, she was my comfort, most cherished treasure. In the middle of all that, I met my husband, Terry. He was a chef working hard at the hotel where I was working part-time. He had been there for over 5 years, mastering the art and techniques of cooking. Knowing about my passion for cooking from others, he approached me and said, "I'm still learning myself, but I'll teach you whatever I know. If you're interested, just let me know." I was thrilled and responded, "Really? That's so kind," with a big smile on my face. From there we started with the basics of cooking at each other's houses, learning and enjoying our time together. Since the hotel's kitchen was used by others for practice, we comfortably practiced at home, creating our own secret cooking class atmosphere. We'd often practice cooking in my kitchen, and as we stirred pots together, our relationship grew deeper. Before we realized, we were seriously dating, and after a few years, we got married. Even after marriage, Terry continued to pursue his passion in the hotel's kitchen. On the other hand, I joined a startup overseeing several restaurants to grasp the practical aspects of business management. The theories I learned in university and real-world experience were worlds apart, but despite the challenges, I gradually got the hang of managing a business. Then, with the support of my company, we had the opportunity to run the upscale traditional restaurant we'd always dreamed of. I took on the role of the manager, setting up the place, and invited Terry to lead the kitchen. He was ready for a new challenge after wrapping up his training, so he happily accepted. We nurtured and grew our upscale restaurant as a couple. However, being engrossed in work, I regret not spending much time with my dear grandmother. Now she lives with my brother. My brother, Colin, is a serious office worker, but he has a bit of a troublesome personality. When I excitedly told him about debuting as a manager through a new company program, his reaction was surprisingly cold. "Wait, are you seriously taking such a risk? Wouldn't it be more secure to remain a regular employee? Besides, managers who are hired like that don't earn much, do they?" he said with a skeptical look. "Colin, isn't that a bit harsh?" I tried to counter, but his stance was firm. "Amy, listen closely. Stability is the most important thing. Why are you so intent on doing as you please? Not just you, but your husband too. Don't you realize how tough it is to run a business? What will you do if you fail?" he continued. His words left me a bit taken aback. Sure, running a business might be hard, but we have the support from the company. It's not entirely on us. Then, with a somewhat malicious grin, my brother's wife chimed in. "You two are quite daring, aren't you? But if things go south, don't come running to us for help." With that I silently vowed never to rely on them, no matter what. But the reason why my beloved grandmother was living with such a mean sister-in-law, it all started when my brother and his wife suddenly moved in. I found out about it during one of my visits. The moment I rang the doorbell, my sister-in-law Lily came out, looking surprised. "Oh, Amy, what are you doing here?" I blurted out in shock. "Lily, why are you at Grandma's?" Taking a deep breath, Lily smiled and said, "Well, I'll let you in on a secret. Recently I've been taking care of your grandma here. I wanted to spend more quality time with her, so we decided to move in." She seemed rather proud of herself. Admittedly, with the new restaurant I had opened, I had been very busy, leaving me with less time for Grandma. Lily, being at home more often, probably looked out for her. "Thank you. It really is a big help," I said, though deep down, I felt a pang of sadness at missing time with my grandmother. When I dropped by my grandma's house, Lily remarked with a hint of sarcasm, "Oh, Amy, you're here again. I think Grandma's quite busy, you know. But after all, this is Grandma's house." Every time, I would respond with a smile, "Sorry, I just wanted to chat with Grandma." Visiting Grandma's house every weekend was my joy. Though she always welcomed me with a warm smile, I've noticed she hasn't been her usual energetic self lately. I tried to dismiss it, thinking, it's probably just my imagination. However, one day, my fears became a reality. When I knocked on Grandma's door, there was no answer. Gently opening the door, I found her collapsed in the entrance. In shock, I rushed to her side shouting, "Grandma, are you okay?" I immediately called an ambulance, and she was taken to the hospital. I went with her, and before I knew it, it was already dark outside. After a while, I was called in by a doctor to discuss her condition. The doctor began with the ominous phrase, "She doesn't have much time left." I was devastated, unable to process the news, but I understood Grandma was seriously ill. Apparently, this hospital was her regular one. The doctor in charge explained in detail about her condition. Ultimately, her illness was beyond surgical intervention, and it was best for her to rest at home. As I was taking this in, I received news that Grandma had regained consciousness. I rushed to her room, and she smiled weakly at me. "Amy, I'm sorry for surprising you." Though her voice was feeble, it warmed my heart. Through my tears, I asked, "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" Grandma softly replied, "I didn't want to worry anyone." At that moment, I felt the depth of Grandma's strength and kindness. I decided to cherish the days ahead and spend more quality time with her. "How about we tell everyone about your illness?" I softly suggested it to my grandmother. She seemed a bit taken aback by the idea, but she agreed. I believed my brother and his wife would cherish the remaining days with Grandma. A few days later, Grandma was discharged from the hospital. However, this wasn't a sign of her recovery. She was sent home because there were no more treatment options available. When we arrived at Grandma's house, my brother and Lily were relaxing in the living room. With a cheerful smile, Lily lightly joked, "Where have you been?" "It's been relaxing living here while Grandma was away." Following her lead, my brother laughed, adding, "It was refreshing to have some quiet time without Grandma's voice around." I was shocked by their comments. One look at Grandma, and anyone could tell how dire her condition was. Holding back my emotions, I said, "Come on, stop with the poor jokes. Grandma's condition is actually very serious. They can't treat her at the hospital anymore." At this, both my brother and Lily looked stunned. My brother, in disbelief, responded, "You're joking, right?" Lily seemed not to take my words seriously either. Taking a deep breath, I told them the truth. "It's true. If you can't believe me, why not ask Grandma's primary doctor directly?" I suggested firmly. With a frail voice, Grandma added, "Actually, I don't have much time left. I believe there's not much I'll be able to do from now on." Lily, with a look of surprise, exclaimed, "Wait, I didn't sign up to be a carer. I'm just living here to save on rent. I can't handle such a huge responsibility." I couldn't believe the words coming out of her mouth. "Grandma, can you leave this house?" With that, a deep sadness filled Grandma's eyes. "So I'm a burden now," she whispered to herself. It seemed Lily and my brother were only thinking of their own lives, putting Grandma's feelings on the back burner. Holding Grandma's hand, I comforted her. "It's okay, Grandma. I'm here for you. This is your house. We should prioritize how you feel," I asserted to Lily. But Lily remained stubborn, showing no sign of changing her mind. "Amy, I'm sorry. I didn't expect their attitudes to be this way," Grandma apologized, wiping away her tears. Touched by her kindness, I felt a deep desire to protect her. When Lily looked at us, It was as if she was looking at something troublesome. "Can you leave? Honestly, I get distracted with you guys around. Don't come asking for help later, because I won't be inclined to help," Lily said with a hint of annoyance. "Seriously, just thinking about Grandma gives me a headache. Don't try to dump the responsibility on us," my brother added, glancing at our grandmother. It was clear that the inconvenience was on the side of Lily and my brother. Yet, as soon as they knew of the grandmother's condition, they wanted to send her away. Their attitude made my heart heavy with sadness. "I won't be speaking to Lily or you anymore. Our relationship as a family ends here. If anything happens later, don't rely on us," Grandmother said, her voice quivering, eyes misty. "I won't come to this house anymore. Goodbye." "Great. Even if Amy gets into trouble somewhere we won't know," my brother smirked. "Right, if Amy is in trouble, it's none of our concern. Do your best with Grandma," Lily waved casually. Without a word, Grandma and I left the house. Holding her close, I decided to take her to my place in a taxi and start a new chapter with her. The moment the taxi door opened, Grandma's eyes were fixed on my house. "Oh, what a magnificent mansion," she exclaimed in surprise. Indeed, our house was bigger and more glamorous than where Grandma had been living. "The company we work for is unique, and besides our regular wages, they give us a little bonus. A portion of the restaurant's revenue gets cash back to employees like us. This generous system was introduced to motivate the employees. Thanks to this, we enjoy a stable and comfortable lifestyle. Compared to the regular office where my brother works, our lifestyle might seem a bit luxurious." As I was lost in thought, the front door gently opened, revealing Terry with a warm smile. "Welcome back. I've been waiting," he welcomed cheerfully. I had texted Terry about Grandma's arrival, so he had thoughtfully prepared tea for us. After so long, Grandma was happy to see Terry again, her face breaking into a big smile. I led her into the living room and served her some warm tea. As she sipped it, she looked relieved and took a deep breath, saying, "This place feels like somewhere I can comfortably spend my remaining days. At the other house, I felt like I was just in the way." She spoke with a hint of sadness, and from her words, I could sense the coldness of Lily and my brother. Moreover, when I heard that Lily had been taking Grandma's pension money without permission, I was taken aback. Could Lily really do that? I muttered under my breath. Terry, too, looked shocked and said, "I can't believe it. We can't let this go," Terry said with evident indignation. I felt the same way deep down. Terry began passionately, "We should give those guys a taste of their own medicine." I nodded in agreement. "Yes, let's take some action." A few days later, I received several calls from my brother. After waiting a bit, I answered, only to be met with Lily's angry voice. "Hello, why the constant calls?" I asked, feigning ignorance. Lily shot back, "It's about Grandma's house. We've been asked to leave suddenly." "This is your doing, isn't it?" Trying to hide my amusement, I replied, "I have no idea what you're talking about." Imagining her flustered reaction, I felt a hint of satisfaction. I spoke slowly to Lily. "Actually, Grandma decided to let go of that house. After all, the property was in her name from the beginning. We were surprised at first too." "Why did you all think it was your house?" I asked gently. A mix of shock and confusion came through in Lily's voice. "Wait, why would she do that suddenly? We're living there. Did you two plan this?" Her rising tone revealed her distress. "No, we didn't do anything. Grandma just wanted to sell her house. In fact, the sale is finalized, and there's already a new owner. Staying there any longer might cause problems, you know," I explained kindly. Actually, Terry listened to Grandma's story and immediately went to talk with the real estate agency about selling that house. Grandma seemed strongly opposed to handing the house over to Colin and Lily, so she quickly agreed to the procedures. "Do you think Grandma really understands what's going on? Did you guys bring some kind of sweet deal to her?" Lily asked with a mix of anger. Yet in her voice, there seemed to be a hint of insecurity and panic. "Let's find a new path and build a new life separately," I said, ignoring Lily's words, trying to be encouraging. "What? Where are we supposed to live now? Our previous flat has gone too." Lily's voice quivered with anger. In truth, from what I heard from Grandma, it seems Lily loves shopping. She's always carrying the latest designer bags and visiting beauty spas and salons nearly every week. Also, my brother's income isn't that substantial. Their life must be tight with just the average office worker's wage. And on top of that, there were Lily's old debts. Their financial situation seemed challenging. Normally, with such circumstances, their relationship might be strained, but my brother was head over heels for Lily's beauty. Whenever he saw her beautiful face, he probably gave in to whatever she said. That's why they moved into Grandma's house to save money. To be honest, I wasn't particularly interested in their situation, so I teasingly suggested, why not try staying in a motel for a while? Oh, but it might be tough if you're short on money. Lily paused for a moment, then said in a surprised tone, why are you talking about our financial situation? All the while I couldn't hear a word from my brother. Later when Grandma took the phone, she began with a smile, actually, I told Amy everything. Oh, and by the way, Amy's house is really nice. It's spacious, equipped with the latest appliances, and very comfortable. It's completely different from there. Grandma spoke joyfully. My brother seemed intrigued after hearing that from Lily. When he took the phone from her, he said, why are you guys so rich? I thought you were struggling with money. There was a mix of surprise and anger in his voice. It might surprise you, but apart from our regular salaries, we also get a decent bonus. Roughly speaking, we probably earn about twice what you make in a month. Both of us work hard and have a nice life, I said a bit proudly. He was silent for a moment before uttering in disbelief, seriously. Yes, you always said full-time employment is the best, but maybe we have a more relaxed life. Perhaps you should broaden your horizons, I advised in a smug tone. Then I heard Lily's sweet voice, hey Amy, can we visit your place? Just your brother and me, even if it's just for a bit. I was taken aback by her proposal, but firmly replied, no, I told you we're done. Figure things out on your own without relying on us. They tried calling several times afterward, but I had nothing to discuss so didn't pick up. I decided they weren't family anymore. One day, unexpected news came in. My brother and Lily had been arrested for shoplifting at a small store. From the police, I learned about Lily's staggering debts that my brother's salary couldn't cover. She had even been taking money from our beloved grandmother's pension. Debt collectors went to my brother's workplace, which forced him to leave his job. Their financial situation deteriorated rapidly, with days where they couldn't afford proper food. They had resorted to stealing donuts and sandwiches from that store. From the police, I heard that when they were arrested, both pleaded for me to vouch for them. My brother said, I know we've done wrong, but please help us. Lily also begged, crying, forgive our past mistakes and help us just this once. But Lily's reckless spending led to this, and my brother's ignorance was also problematic. No matter how much they apologized, I couldn't easily forgive them. The outcome of neglecting our dear grandmother and its consequences were too severe. I believe they're facing the consequences of their choices. Months have passed since that day, but my feelings remain unchanged. Grandma is still lively and enjoys each day. Just knowing that lifts my feelings. I took leave from work to spend quality time with her every day. Thankfully, my company is supportive during times like these. While Grandma occasionally feels unwell, we often enjoy walks in the garden and chat while admiring flowers. Such moments are treasures to me. Grandma, your birthday's coming up. Anything special you want to eat? I asked. Smiling, she replied, I'd love a sandwiches made by you. Honestly, my cooking isn't the best, but I was touched by her kind request. I still have so many places to show her, foods to taste together, and stories to share. I cherish every heartwarming moment with her and aim to make her smile as much as possible while she's feeling better.